I have lived a slow life in solitude. It suits me. I never had a brood or mate. The darkness was too vast, even with my light, to find anyone. Oh, there was a time or two when I found a potential partner, but when I sensed another lonely female, I swam away. I did not want to fight. Perhaps I am a romantic, another word for fool, but I always imagined my love would find me in the dark, quite by accident. Two creatures searching for sustenance and finding one another instead. That did not happen. My body, small as it is, began to ache over time. So much time. Not enough. As I started to slow down, I realized how little life I had truly lived, how much time I had spent as though my mortal coffers were without end. As a young fry, I had wondered about the Eska of the world above. How large the beast it belonged to must be, how terrifying, how glorious. I had only eaten fear from the creatures I consumed. I had never felt it myself until I tried to imagine the gargantuan maw of a globe-sized monster. So much of my life I spent hungry. I had felt the salt of the sea, and in my final hours I yearned for the salt of the earth. At first I considered myself a sacrifice, so that its iridescent lure might continue to nourish the rotting sea. But my journey was selfish. I wanted to see her, to know what the teeth of such an animal looked like, to feel as tiny and frightened as a minnow. I ascended slowly, not wanting to die quickly and to give my aching fins time to rest. After what felt like eternity, confusion clouded me, and I struggled against an unseen turbulence until my senses adjusted. My black kingdom slipped away below me, and with it, the coldness I had endured for a lifetime. I could barely understand the sensation surrounding my body as I swam toward the surface. I had only felt something similar once before, eons ago, when I battled and won against an Opa. I had tasted its blood in my mouth like consumable joy melting on my tongue. Warmth. Of course, a beast as large and beautiful as the one I swam toward would be alluring in more ways than I. Even as a deep-sea thing, I could not deny the pleasure of warmth. My senses clouded again, but for less time, and for the first time I could see the vast, full nothingness of my world. Pale columns of light grew in brightness as I continued my upward trajectory. A few other members of the ocean in bodies I did not recognize watched me with startled interest but did not engage. I knew my presence here was unusual, but I had lived in darkness. I wanted to die in light.